asthma, heart disease, lung disease, chronic bronchitis, cancer, and even premature death. All of these things are caused by one thing, and those are the things flying above us. Planes. So, how do these planes do it? Well, the fuel that they burn releases a lot of CO2. CO2 is a part of our pollution talks. In current events, it's the core. So, instead of talking about cars, we should talk about the real killer, planes. You want to hear how bad it is with airplanes? Let me bring up a statistic. In a statistic, it shows about aviation pollution, in which one round trip from Los Angeles to New York, it releases about 20% of greenhouse gases. You're thinking, okay, that's not bad. However, 20% of how much cars burn. This is what we should be talking about. So today, we brought an expert to talk about aviation pollution and how it affects us. The expert is me, but don't worry, I've researched this topic more than I'd like to. So, why is aviation pollution so harmful? Well, I claim that aviation pollution has a large impact to the health of humans and the health of ecosystems. Therefore, it should be regulated, and that way we can reduce those impacts. Reasoning? It's all the CO2 that's being released. This can speed up climate change, which ultimately can lead to destruction. So, according to Boeing themselves, 1 gallon of jet fuel can release up to 21 pounds of carbon dioxide. Now that's a lot already. And this isn't going to be such a good impact either. So, because according to Nat Geo, those emissions can kill a lot of people. According to Nat Geo, it's about 10,000 a year that people die from plane emissions. So I brought this model in to help you understand how airplane emissions can lead to ecosystem destruction. So, increased CO2 output can lead to ocean acidification, a decrease in biodiversity, and extreme weather. Also, turning this around, we can see how using biofuels and full cost pricing can help shield from these wrongful plane emissions, protecting us. So after hearing those statistics and looking at the model, you may feel that it's time to pull back on air travel. However, there are solutions. For my solution, I claim that aviation fuel should rely more on biofuels and alternative fuels. The reason being, biofuels have less environmental impact and health impact due to the fact that they release less carbon emissions. I say this because according to the Biofuel Association of Australia, biofuels can cut carbon dioxide emissions by half. Using the leftover waste from a food industry, such as corn or others, you can use it to fuel different kind of machines. But right now, we're going to focus on how they can fuel our planes. The best thing about biofuels, they severely reduce carbon output. Biofuels, as reported by Nat Geo, National Geographic, have about 73% less carbon emissions in them. One fuel type, HEFA, or hydroprocessed esters and fatty acids, is really a promising one that is coming out for aviation. It could be made from oils or also microalgae. This gives HEFA a really strong diversity to it when it comes to fuel sources, making it something that's sustainable. You're most likely wondering why these biofuels haven't been implemented. It's most likely due because more research has to be done in them. However, there is a solution that we can implement now, and that's full cost pricing. It may leave a sour taste in your mouth, but trust me, it could work. You may be asking, what is full cost pricing? So full cost pricing is including everything into the cost of what you're buying. So a piece of paper that can include health benefits of humans, animals, and even the environment, such as paying for planting a tree back from the one that you just cut down for using the paper. That's an example of full cost pricing. So we can implement this into planes. Plane tickets, raising those prices. If it's too cheap, more and more people will use it. And now it's time for the calculations. So, in a gallon of jet fuel, there's about 2.1 times 10 to the first pounds of carbon dioxide in it. Multiplying that how much a Boeing 747 uses, so 5 gallons of jet fuel per mile, and then using the average trip length, we multiply those together, but first gallons of jet fuel cancel out, and then miles cancel out, and then what you're left with is 7.3 times 10 to the fourth. So using the previous answer of 7.3 times 10 to the fourth pounds of carbon dioxide per one trip, multiplying that how many trips there were in 1947, which is 4.21 times 10 to the 8th, you get 30.733 times 10 to the 12th. When you multiply the same number, 7.3 times 10 to the 4th pounds of carbon dioxide per trip, times how many trips there were in 2014, which is 3.21 times 10 to the 11th, you get a larger number. So in combination with full cost pricing and advancing biofuels, aviation pollution can be really curbed. To recap, aviation pollution is impactful. However, with the solutions, we can reduce its impact. Hopefully, you all learned something today.